if we were to break it back real quick, who is the ideal avatar that we're currently bringing into these programs?
Yep.
Our ideal client is essentially the person running a company based off their personal brand.
Is this who you're talking to on LinkedIn?
The person that I'm talking to on LinkedIn are more of like the business owner type, but we will find a few that want this.
Okay. Can you serve and help the business owner type?
Hey, Austin Netzley here, author, investor, and founder of 2X. For the past 2 years, we've been working with 6- and 7-figure business owners all across the world to help them get free from the day-to-day operations so they can scale their income and business faster than ever before. And now we're showing you the real-life stories, the real-life principles of what matters as you try to scale, as we walk a handful of entrepreneurs through the journey to go from 6 to 7 figures. Come, check it out. Hey, and welcome to another episode from 6 to 7 figures, where we're showing you how to make things simpler as you're trying to scale your business. And what we're going to show you today is potentially one of the most important lessons that I could share with you here at 2X, and what we do and what we've found working with so many 6- and 7-figure business owners all across the globe. It's that you're probably making things way too complex. You're probably already working more than hard enough, but if you're not working on the right problems in the right order, then you're just going to be treading water. So we're going to break things down and show you the order that matters and show you how to scale from 6 to 7 figures. Come join me as we break down Ulyses' business, and most importantly, how we can apply these strategies to your business. Let's go ahead and get started. We'll go grab Ulyses now.
All right, so tell us about Influencer Press. What is it? What do you guys do? When did you get started? Take me back.
Yeah, so I started about 4 years ago. We started Influencer Press because we noticed that it was just like a big gap that was missing in the influencer space. Like, they wanted to get PR, but there wasn't really a guy. So once I kind of got into it, I noticed that I can really dominate that industry. And I started working with like massive influencers and literally just getting them on publications. So the Forbes, Inc., Entrepreneur, and then we've now expanded to like TV and in-person interviews and that type of stuff.
How'd you get started?
It's funny. I was creating websites, and I was just creating websites for influencers, and what happened was they actually reached out to me to write on these major publications. So like at 19, I was writing for these big publications, but I didn't know that I could do PR. So somebody told me about it, that I could make money off doing it, and I didn't believe them at first until I made my first $2,000 doing it, and it was like the easiest thing ever. It's like introducing you to somebody else, right? And after that, it's like it's done. So
what gets you fired up besides the money about PR? Because now you have this vision, like you want to be the best, right? So tell us about like PR specifically. What really triggered for you?
I think you nailed it. Like, I want to be the best, and a lot of my clients want to be the best in their industry, right? Yeah. We kind of help them create the Neo effect, where you become the one in your industry. And one of the ways to do that, it's like this place, or the entrepreneur space, is incredibly crowded, and one of the best ways to stand out is like results through your company, and also through like strategic media placement. So it was huge for me because it aligned with everything that I wanted. You get a certain type of respect you don't normally get from just doing entrepreneurship. You get to be in the light. So if you do speaking, everybody's watching you. You get that experience of being an entrepreneur, and that's what most people want.
Yeah, and you've had some great success, and you're how old now?
22.
22 years old. You've had a 6-figure business here for a while, and you've always had this vision of having this $1 million business. Tell us a little bit about that vision and ultimately what you want to create with IP.
Yeah, totally right. Like, I've had this 6-figure business, but I've always wanted to be at that seven-figure pace.
What about it? What about it?
You just cannot be an A player in this industry if you're not at that pace. You're playing small ball if you're not there. And it's great that we work with like high elite entrepreneurs, people doing 8, 9 figures, but if I'm not at the 7-figure pace, it's like, what am I doing? I'm not servicing my clients, to their potential, to my potential, right, to our potential.
Right. You've been in business, you've had different changes of the business now for over 4 years. What's some of the biggest lessons that have stood out to you so far?
Probably the biggest thing that I've learned is like being able to identify your bottlenecks. What's not working? Why is it not working? And then how can you fix that so you can grow?
Well, I'm excited to break down your business in more detail, see what the challenges are that are holding us back right now, and most importantly, help you get to that first 7 figures. Sound good?
Thank you. Yep.
All right.
Do it.
Here we go, guys. It is time to 2X another business. It's time. Somebody that has had $1 million dreams, somebody that's wanted to build a 7-figure business. All right, at 6 figures now, at multiple 6 figures, we've got to take to the next level. So let's give Mr. Ulyses a round of applause and map out the path to 7 figures. Let's do it, man. All right, let me grab. All right, tell us what we need to know. Tell us the background. Tell us the vision. Tell us the challenge that's holding you back from that vision. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so I want to create like essentially a media company, so a really good public relations company that hopefully turns into probably like a media company, where we kind of service like high-level elite entrepreneurs, and we do service high-level like elite entrepreneurs already. But what's stopping me from serving more people and kind of like making this a real machine is like sales.
Write down the vision at the top there. Okay. And write down also the biggest challenge that we're trying to solve here.
So my challenge is helping Chris right now to convert LinkedIn leads.
There's so many different ways we can go with this. Let's just get really quick, like clear on what is the vision. So is the vision 10 case studies a month? Like what? Just real quick, like what is it?
The vision, I guess, is to be the number one PR company. And I feel like to be able to be the number one PR company, we can't be like a rookie level company. I've always believed that. Even though we work with like really great entrepreneurs, it doesn't matter. Like it does matter, but not to me. It does. It's crazy. Like it matters to me, but in order to like feel like I'm an A player and an elite like entrepreneur, I have to be at least like at the 7-figure pace.
Okay.
So that's the goal that we're trying to solve.
That's the goal. Yeah.
7-figure pace. Okay.
Yeah. And I know in order to get there, I have to help Chris convert these LinkedIn leads.
How many clients do you need to get to that 7 figures?
So we need 6 clients.
Yeah, let's break down your offerings.
Yeah.
And your essential model. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so this is the accelerator.
Is that per month?
No, this is a one-time payment.
And so if we were to break it back real quick, who is the ideal avatar that we're currently bringing in these programs?
Yep.
So my ideal avatar is essentially like the Ryan Whites who have a 7-figure business. They do either social media, our ideal client is essentially the person running a company based off their personal brand. So it's
Put personal brand.
huh? Yeah, it's
personal brand.
oh, okay. Because we have different niches, and this number can go up, or down, but it's essentially the person that has a company, but them being the face is like partially what monetizes, or a way that they monetize their business. Which is why they want us, so they can, generate more business.
Is this who you're talking to on LinkedIn?
The person that I'm talking to on LinkedIn are more of like the business owner type, but we will find a few that want this.
Okay. Can you serve and help the business owner type?
Yes, because we have case studies to prove that we can help the business owner type.
Why are they saying no?
Where are they saying no?
Why are the business
why are they
owner
saying
type?
no? That's a really good question. I think there were 3 things why we were not able to close. 1, lack of urgency. So like this service is like a luxury thing that's how they see it. It's like an added, like it's it's like if they buy Gucci or something like that. It's like, yeah, it's not needed. So there's a lack of urgency. Lack of. Either, yeah, didn't see the value. And I think also what I saw when I saw both of them come up, Eric and Jess, is that they have a specific like tagline. Like hers is like generate 30% of revenue in 60 days. His is like get 1 to 2 properties. Forgot exactly what it was. And then ours, we haven't like defined that yet. We haven't defined what success is to like our deal avatar. But
You're selling an ego thing.
yeah.
All right. And if we have this offer that's put together and we're communicating this offer to influencers over here who are a completely different person than brick and mortar business owner over here, guess what's going to happen? The conversions aren't going to happen, right? It's like Jess selling her service to me when I don't have an e-com business. Right? It's just like not even speaking like the same language. It's like, wait a minute, that's just not for me. So what we've got to do is always talk about, this is one of the first things that we worked on, and first things that we always got to get clear on is, what is the business model? And is the business model really set up? So with this, we're looking at, are we selling the right stuff, AKA a great offer, to the right people, AKA a great avatar, at the right price, with the right positioning, in a way that can scale. We don't talk about marketing or anything else until we're confident in these pieces, right? So what we've got to do is look at the offer. Is it an irresistible offer? If not, we've got to make it better. Who are we selling it to? And this will help us create the offer and the way that we position the offer and the way that we communicate it so that it is a painkiller more and more, right? For instance, with people that have an extra ego and feel like they're not getting ahead until they get that Forbes piece on, or until they get verified or whatever, they've got some pain because they think that that's going to change their life. It's only one piece in the puzzle, as we all know, but they think that it's going to change their life. So we've got to get really, really clear on this and make sure that these all line up. So we're good on your price. I think your price is good for now. I think that your positioning, and the company's called what?
Influencer press.
It's not called brick and mortar press.
What's it called?
Influencer press. And the whole brand, like, who would get you fired up? Would you like to be the leader of influencers, or would you like to be the leader of brick and mortar, or the leader of CBD companies, right? We got to get in flow, man. And I really, really think that your right people are the ego-driven people that want to be celebrities, for lack of a better way of saying it. And this is not a bad thing. Look, I've worked with a ton of influencers. A lot of them are great people. I think this is the audience. I think that's who we have to go after, and that's what we have to reverse engineer, even on LinkedIn, because we can still talk with them on LinkedIn. We just got to make sure that we're talking to the right people,
right.
And that offer is specifically dialed in for them. Like, they should hear it and be like, "Oh man, you created this for me." And if they don't feel that, they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, that sounds cool. I'd love to have that." They're never gonna exchange their credit card information with you.
Yeah.
All right. So these two, I'm pretty actually happy with these, at least to where they're at. We can always improve them. We've been working on the fulfillment, so this one's actually not horrible right now. These two aren't matching up, and then people will say, "I just need more leads, and sales team sucks." Or sales conversion sucks. They'll say these two things when it's not a leads problem and it's not a sales problem. We're still in the business model. we're still not having an irresistible offer for the perfect avatar that we can help serve. That's going to be like, yeah, you made that for me, right? And if we don't have this, then we're going after too many different types of avatars. We're communicating to too many different people, and we're not getting the proper feedback and proper information. Make sense?
Yes.
This is going to feel so much more natural for you, so much more natural for Francis, so much more natural for the positioning of the company. Like, what we found here, guys, is as we go through things, if the initial foundational items are not in order, then we start to try to solve the wrong problem. How much time and energy have we put into these two things? Have you put into these two things? Sales and marketing, right? When the 80-20 is actually back here, right? On the positioning setup of it. And now we can actually start to get some feedback and traction. Now we can know how to better market once we get this really, really dialed in, okay?
Cool, I'm gonna take some pictures.
All right, let's give them a round of applause, guys. All right, so the big takeaway here with Ulyses is that you can work your butt off, but if you're not solving the right problem, then what's it all for? So many times we think that it's this one thing that's holding us back, or we think that it's this other thing, and we've been working hard on this thing for potentially months, but we're just not quite getting the traction. Here's the thing that I found working with so many businesses, and this is why we've actually designed 2X in our 90-day program in the way that we have, is that there is an order to things. It's not only important what you focus on, it's what order that matters so much. It's absolutely crucial. So most people are focusing on sales and marketing. I just have a leads problem, or I just have a sales conversion problem, when in reality, we got to go back to the basics. We've got to look at, what are you selling? Who are you serving? Are you filling a pain? If we can get this stuff right, we're going to set up the marketing for success. We're going to set up the sales for success and be able to actually grow. So that's the big takeaway here. Are you working on the right problems in the right order? There's a 2X formula that I want to map out for you that shows you the order that you should be focusing on things. All right, so let's break this down in a little bit of detail here. All right, the first thing that we've got to master, this is where business starts. Everything starts first and foremost with the 6 inches between your ears, the mindset. This is step number 1. You can only build the business to which you have the mindset of, all right? So it starts with the mindset. Then we've got to understand your vision. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to take your company? What do you want to achieve? You can see as we're asking people what's their goals and whatnot. That's what we've got to understand first, because then we're going to take the simplest and most direct path there. So we've got to understand the vision. Then we're going to be able to map out a strategy. This is the business model. Remember what we talked about with Ulyses. There's 5 things that we're looking for with the strategy or with your business model. Are we selling the right stuff to the right people at the right price with the right positioning in a way that can scale? All right, so many 6-figure entrepreneurs out there are not doing well on all 5 of these, and that's why they're being held back. So can we fix those 5 and have a much better strategy, a much better business model, and most importantly, make sure that this business model or this strategy is aligned to get us to the vision as quickly as humanly possible. So that's what we're trying to accomplish. Then we get into things such as creating an irresistible offer, building out the systems that you need, optimizing your team, and then we get into sales and marketing. Most entrepreneurs are focused from the top down here. We here at 2X, we start from the bottom up. We're focused on really working on the mindset and making sure that we're ready for the next level. Then understanding the vision inside and out. Then making sure that we've got a great strategy or great business model. Then making an irresistible offer, having systems for each step of the business, building out a world-class team, focusing on execution and numbers and some of the other pieces of this formula. But it's the order that matters extra much, so that when we get to sales and when we get to marketing, these become easy. These should not be the bottlenecks in your business. Start here, work your way up, one piece at a time, build a machine, and if you do, you're gonna join the select few, the ones that make the leap from 6 to 7 figures. Remember, only 4% of businesses ever make that leap. If you work through this strategy, trust me, you're gonna be like Ulyses, where you're gonna be growing much simpler, much faster, and get to that $1 million mark. All right, so I want to hear from you. What's your big takeaway? And most importantly, what are you going to do about it? What we've talked about here today in this video. So comment below, press the like button if you've gotten some good value out of this. I want to hear from you. What have you taken away? What are you going to do about it? Comment below right now and get started on those actions. All right, one piece at a time. Make things easier on yourself, work on the right stuff in the right order, and you're going to join the select few entrepreneurs that really get what they really want out of business. So that's it. My name is Austin Netzley here with 2X. I look forward to seeing you in the next video on how to go from 6 to 7 figures as quickly and effectively as possible. Get started with these items right now here today. I'll see you next one. So, all right, Ulysses, it's been just over 30 days now. And when you were here at my house, we were breaking down how we weren't really clear on who the heck we were selling to, what we were selling. We were looking at vitamins versus painkillers. Can you tell us a little bit about how the past 30 plus days has transformed, what's transpired, where are you at now? Tell us the quick little overview.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like when I was there, like the biggest thing was we were just having, we just didn't know who the ideal avatar was. And because of that, we didn't know what the ideal pain points were. We just couldn't identify who that person was. And I think now, literally in the past 30 days, we created a sales process, an audit to like clearly identify, okay, who's actually qualified, write a definition of qualified. And then once they hop on that audit, we understand their pain points so we can guide them through the entire process. And now that's converting, which is like, it's been a lifesaver because as you know, and Chandler know, that's been the biggest bottleneck in the business for a long time. It's something that we've always kind of just like brushed off, but now we took it on. And you gave us that clarity, right? You during that mastermind, you and Chandler both gave us that clarity. And we're just in a much better position now. Like it's just a confidence booster as well.
Yeah. So it's crazy. So like once you get clear on what you're selling and to who, and it's the right thing, it has such a big trickle effect because it led to the marketing. It led to the improvement in the sales system. It led to the improvement in conversions, which leads to the confidence, which leads to the bank account. Talk a little bit about your sales pipeline and where it's at now versus where it was.
Right. So because as you know, we have like, we have discovery calls and then, PR audits. And the biggest thing is we were getting these calls rolling in, but we weren't able to actually close them. And the reason we weren't able to actually close them is because we just weren't hitting their pain points, right? Like, as you said, during the mastermind, we were selling them vitamins instead of painkillers. And if you sell if you sell a vitamin to somebody, it's only when they're ready to optimize their life. Not everybody's ready to optimize their life. However, if you offer them a painkiller, like they're going to take it more than they would ever take a vitamin. So once we've kind of identified and gotten very clear on that, the sales process just got entirely easier. And like you said, it like bleeds out to everything else, to the marketing. Now we know exactly who we're targeting, right? When you don't know who you're targeting, of course, you're not going to get sales. It's just completely different, and we understand who we can help and then how much more we can actually help them because we've identified that.
I've personally worked with hundreds of entrepreneurs and influencers and business owners all across the world. And literally 100% of the time we have changed their model in some way, shape or form. Maybe it's the avatar, maybe it's the way that it's fulfilled. Maybe it's the offers that we have. Maybe it's all of the above. Maybe it's the whole Model 1 system. But we've changed it 100% of the time. But if you get that right, then you're on the trajectory to be able to scale. And you've seen that. So keep it up, man. We're excited to check back in another 30 days, another 60 days, see where you're at, because you got some momentum now behind you.